Hello everyone, I'm meteorologist Charlie Ironmonger. Thank you so much for joining me today for your 4 p.m. news and weather update from the First Alert Desk. Starting out with a story out of Onslow County, where a Connecticut man is now behind bars facing multiple counts of child sex crimes. Court records show that Angel Nadal was charged with 3 counts of statutory sex offense with a child by an adult and indecent liberties with a child. A grand jury indicted the 58-year-old man last month on these offenses. Arrest warrants say the crimes happened in September of 2017 and involve a 9-year-old child. Now, those warrants were issued in February, and the victim's father told WITN that he was able to track down Nadal's address. The father says Nadal was arrested in Connecticut on May 21st. Now, the man went before a judge on Monday and was released on a $300,000 secured bond. And in other news, in Duplin County, charges have been dropped on a former teacher that had been accused of improper touching. Now, court records show that the district attorney's office dismissed all charges against James Faulkner of Beulahville. Faulkner was a 7th grade teacher at Beulahville Elementary School, as well as the girls' basketball coach. He was charged just before Christmas of 2021 with 4 counts of felony indecent liberties with a child and 4 counts of felony indecent liberties with a student. A dismissal order says key witness statements against the teacher have changed, making, quote, victim testimony alone without corroboration is insufficient to prove defendant's guilt beyond a reasonable doubt, end quote. Now, the dismissal came a week after prosecutors asked a judge to order all counseling and mental health records of the victim be released to lawyers in the case. Faulkner had been a teacher in Duplin County for 20 years and resigned shortly after his arrest. And now for your weather forecast. A lot of the showers and storms continue to push their way out of eastern North Carolina. For those of you watching around the Albemarle Sound, though, and really mainly Dare County and the Outer Banks, you guys are probably saying, Charlie, I haven't seen any sort of decrease. We're in fact seeing an increase in rain. And to be fair, you're 100% right. We have seen a very large increase in the thunderstorm frequency and the amount of rain present around Hyde, Terrell, Dare counties. Let's zoom the picture in a little bit closer, and that's where the bulk of the lightning strikes are occurring, from Elizabeth City to Kitty Hawk, down to Oregon Inlet, and even extending down towards Swan Quarter in Hyde County. That's where essentially the strongest cluster of storms is currently located. Now, a little bit further back towards the west, we are keeping an eye on these dying storms, but you'll note again that kind of light green band moving northward across Nash County, even extending back towards Raleigh. That is an outflow boundary. Those happen whenever thunderstorms are starting to weaken or they're replacing their inner cycles. Again, that is an indicator that those storms right now are going to be weakening over the next 15 to 20 minutes. Now, a little bit further south, again, the rain showers that had been over Duplin, Pender, and Onslow County earlier today, certainly plentiful and heavy. Right now, looking at more just lighter showers kind of meandering their way across portions of Pender, Duplin, and Onslow counties. Let's take a look at what we've got through the rest of the evening, though. The pattern of decreasing rain will continue. Everything really drying up as we head towards 7, 8, and 9 p.m. tonight. Will be dry as we head into tomorrow morning, only to see another chance of maybe a few coastal showers popping up tomorrow afternoon. Nothing like what we saw today, though. And with that lack of rain coming up tomorrow compared to what we've seen today, that is going to have an impact on your air temperatures. We're going to be seeing warmer conditions through the area tomorrow afternoon. 78 degrees at 7 turns to 87 by 11, 89 by noon, and then we are into the 90s through most of the afternoon. 90 degrees at 1, 91 by 2, 92 between 3 and 4 p.m. Now, a southwesterly wind will blow in at about 7 to 15 miles an hour. And the good news is a lot of the frontal boundaries that we see produce severe weather across the Great Lakes and even areas on the East Coast. Those fronts will not make it this far south into eastern North Carolina. So our severe weather threat really non-existent here over the next several days. Unfortunately, we will still have to deal with extreme weather conditions more focused around air temperatures. That's why Friday, Saturday, and Sunday are all first alert weather days because of the heat that will be present. Air temperatures are going to be hot and toasty. And when you factor in the humidity that heat could be dangerous for some, which again is why we really want to highlight those 3 days. Now, as we head into next week, the amount of rain coming in should help tamp down those air temperatures a little bit more, going from 93 degrees on Monday to 87 on Tuesday, 89 on Wednesday. But as we head to the tail end of next week, we're anticipating another round of hot weather to come. So we're not done with the dog days of summer just yet. We are very much still in the middle of July, and we've got at least a whole nother month to go, most likely another 2 months to go before we can likely get in a little bit of that cooler, drier air. I know everybody in the Ironmonger household is certainly hoping and wishing for. Well, that's all we have time for today's 4 p.m. news and weather update from the First Alert Desk. I want to thank you all so much for joining me. We'll be back with more news and weather coming up at 7:10 a.m. tomorrow morning with Jim and Gigi. Until then, have a wonderful day.